I think we
I'm
might
going
be.
to take myself out.
No. Oh, where'd you go? Where'd you go? Hello, folks. It's Jerlene, candidate for the Long Beach Unified School District. I'm going to be doing a data walk with co-parent, co-conspirator, co-advocate, Dr. Kim Tabari, who is also a parent in Long Beach Unified School District. Um, I'm going to go ahead and pull her in, and we're going to get this started. Hey, Dr. Tabari.
Hi, Jarlene. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna send out some messages to folks to see if we can pull some folks in. But you already know the rule; they can watch us now, watch us later. So the purpose, if you are watching this at any time that you're watching this, this is an expanded conversation on the data that I've been showing in my little video vignettes over the last few weeks. A few weeks ago, I shared information specific to Long Beach Unified as it related to the 2023 data and how our students were doing across the entire district. And what I had shared was, and I'm just going to read this straight off the paper. In the overall Long Beach Unified, in the overall Long Beach Unified test results for 2023, 48% of students met or exceeded the state standard in English, while 51.4 did not. A change of, oh, we're not going to read about the change. In math, 34.46 students met or exceeded the state standard, with 65.54 not meeting it. Okay, so I had shared that information, and what we're going to do, we're going to talk about like the source of this data, how folks can access this data, and we're going to use just a few schools that are actually located in the Area 2 district. Okay, so Kim, Dr. Tabari, Kim, I'm going to call you Kim. Can you just share with folks just who you are, what you do, and while you're doing that, I'm going to be sharing the link with folks.
Yeah, great. Hi, everybody. I am a parent, first and foremost, in Long Beach and do a lot of community advocacy work on behalf of students in Long Beach. My little person is no longer little, about to graduate this year. So I've been in the district. He's been in Long Beach Unified District since he was in elementary school to middle school and now high school. And so I've been involved in many different aspects of the district, really working to help create systemic change because I know what the academic struggles are for Black students in particular. Not necessarily my own, although he does have some struggles periodically, but in our district, Black students are doing really, really poorly. And it's been for many years. This isn't anything new, right? And so ever since, between the murder of George Floyd and all the racial uprising and the COVID pandemic, it really set us back many years. And so I've been working with the district much, much more closely in the last 4 years or so, 4 or 5 years, to really hone in on what systemic changes can we make to really increase the academic success, like I said, of all students, and in particular Black students that are suffering, and Pacific Islander students and Latinx students, right? So everybody's suffering in different ways. And I've really been at the table with other parents, with other district leaders, to really galvanize, this 1.3 billion, I think, dollar budget that the district has, and in ensuring that they're being very intentional about the help that is needed from students. So in my day work, Darlene's phone's ringing. In my day work, I do research at a university in LA. You all know who I am, so I won't name it in case you don't. But this is my passion. This is what I do after 5. This is what I love, just really helping empower parents, being at the table with the district leaders, with the district staff, with students, just really coming together collectively and really collaborating on ways that we can help we can help our students. And Jerlene has really been at the helm of this for like 20 years, really, way before me, doing amazing work in the city. I'm really excited to support her as candidate for the Long Beach Unified School District. I know she's running against an incumbent, but just because someone's been doing something for 3 years doesn't mean they're good at it, right? And in this case, they're not. I'm not afraid to say that. You know, many people are afraid to say that because they're afraid of being, blacklisted in Long Beach, but I am not afraid. So I am unapologetic in my support for Jerlene, who has been at the table, knows what the issues are, knows how to make some of the solution, knows how to work on solutions as well. I've seen, just having a think tank, of like what are some issues, what are the issues, and what are some ways we can collectively work together. Really, really want to call in parents to just come sit at the table with us. Whether hopefully she will win, but regardless of the outcome of this race, that we're still going to be here doing this work. We're not going anywhere. Right. So anyway, I'm rambling.
I'm just going to say, I didn't expect that. Thank you. One thing I do want to acknowledge is that when Kim came to the table as a parent working, it really forced me to up my game. And when I say up my game, become more knowledgeable in the data. And in her day job, she does a lot of stuff with data and statistics. So she brings an expertise to the table that and a knowledge base that I would not have had she not been at the table the last few years. So thank you for joining me tonight, or whatever y'all watch it tonight, tomorrow morning. We're here. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to just talk about data in Long Beach Unified. So Smart Balance Test is a test that students take in Long Beach Unified. And that test data is accumulated or information is recorded and data is put into a dashboard. Kim, can you just share with folks when data is collected from schools, where it goes? And then we can go ahead and start sharing pages.
Yeah. So all of the school districts in Long Beach are required by the state of California Department of Ed to gather all sorts of data, demographics data, which is like, the different race of students at your school by gender. There's collection on whether students are foster care, whether students are migrants. There's a whole host of data, right? And of course, academic data, how they're doing in some of the tests, like the SBAC tests and different tests that Jerlene has been mentioning in the last few weeks of conversation as a candidate. So all of this data is given to the California State of Ed, and then it gets put into different dashboards so that the public has easier access. So all the raw data is collected, it's sent to this huge data quest contingency that then is able to organize it and analyze it in a way that the public can easily access it. So I could share, for example, wait, let me remember how to do this. Sharing situation. Okay, here we go. So I can share, just start, and I want to say that the Long Beach Unified District does a really good job at trying to be as transparent as they can with this data, right? And so the data, the dashboard is found starting with the LBUSD homepage. If you go there to the data page, you'll find it, and then you'll see there's a bunch of things here. I go to it in different ways, so forgive me if I'm going to it in a roundabout way. So if I did it too fast, I'll go back. So if you look here, it tells you, what years are available. Obviously 2023 is not yet uploaded. So this data is usually about a year old when you're looking at it. Sometimes it's 2 years old, right? And so you can see under demographics, you can get enrollment, which I mentioned, by grade, by gender, by race, whether or not folks are graduating, whether or not they're dropping out, their English learner pieces, and as well as special ed. So if I click on enrollment, it takes me to this page, and then you can submit,
Can you click off share for a moment? and go back into your share and tell it to show by tab so that we can get a full view.
I'm not understanding.
Hit take your share off
Okay.
and then go to the present button
Mm-hmm.
and share screen and select tab.
Tab. Select a tab.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not letting me do that.
Okay. Let me try it from here so we can get a larger view. So I'm
Wait,
gonna.
how's this? How's this? Is this
That's
better?
it. That's it. That's
Okay.
it. Okay.
All
So
right.
if you're watching right now, okay. So Data Quest, who manages this?
The California Department of Education.
Okay. Um, can you let's see. Okay. So where do we go from here? I see Long Beach Unified, like down there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I see this is so what data are we looking at for what year right now?
So we're looking at data from 2022 to 2023 by ethnicity and grade, right? And so it goes from K all the way through 12. And you can see the breakdown in this first column that says total. That's the breakdown of how many students are in the district right now. Well, not right now, I should say last year,
Mhm.
22, 23, by race. So there were 8,000, a little bit over 8,000 African-American students. There were 97 American Indian students. There were about almost 700 Asian Americans,
Mhm.
Filipinos. You can see the largest body of students we have are, they call it Hispanic, we say Latino, so it's data language. They are
Based on the
beholden to that
census,
word.
right? Census
Um,
census labels, right?
yes,
Census labels.
Pacific
Okay.
Islander, white students, multiracial students, and students there that just don't report any at all. So
Mhm.
just giving you all a sense as you're watching this, how the district is broken down by race when you think about how many students are in our district, right? Some of you might have never seen this, and this might be shocking to see these numbers, right? Down at the bottom in this first column row, again, last year we had about 6,500, 826 students in Long Beach Unified, period.
So
In LA
currently,
County,
there's about 64. Like there's been a decline in enrollment.
correct.
Okay.
But that data is not yet available,
Right.
right? The LA County had a little over 1 million students, and then statewide, we've got about 5,800,000 students. So those are some big numbers, right? For people to kind of understand the lay of the land, we're going from larger to smaller to smaller. So it's very important to know, like, where are we in relation to the rest of LA County or
Okay.
the state?
So
So
where do we go from here? So if I want to see a specific school, do I go from here or should I go into a different interface? Or can I do both? Because I know I've been going directly through the EdSource
okay.
interface.
Okay, well let's show that. Let's stop my screen and let's show it. That's just one way going from the district's website. So let's see another way.
So what Kim just showed was one way to access it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to walk through, see if I can pull up the right page. I'm actually going to go to a school site. So are you able to see this okay, Kim?
Yep, Cabrillo.
So right now I have up the Cabrillo High School site, and at the bottom of the page, before I even got here, or even here, school data. There's an option that says school data. So that school data option is at the bottom of all the Long Beach Unified School District websites. And so from there, I am going to click on. Which am I clicking on? School accountability reports.
Yep.
So something that's interesting, it seems as if Long Beach Unified has made some very recent updates to the page because a couple weeks ago, this was not the direction I was going. So now remember a few moments ago, I was on a Cabrillo website. I clicked on data. It took me to an option accountability reports. And now I'm on the Long Beach Unified School District page. And if you look here, Long Beach Unified has 84 schools. All the schools are listed here: elementary, middle school, high schools. I am going to pick Nelson, which is in area 2. So, so Kim, do you see that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, not yet. I just see the 3 schools,
Oh,
the 3 levels. Yep, there we go.
oh. Did I show the last tab? I think I did.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is California Department of Education. So the data quest that you showed a few moments ago, what's the difference between the data quest and what I'm looking at right now?
There
Just the
shouldn't be
interface.
any difference. There shouldn't be any difference. If you see, look at the top, it says California Department of Ed. So all of that is coming from the same place.
Okay, so it's just the interface. Do they extract data differently?
Nope.
No. Okay, so Nelson. Now, one of the reasons I pulled Nelson up, Nelson is not is very low academic success at Nelson. And this school is located, it's a Nelson Academy. I believe it's a K-8. It's off of Cherry. It's in Central Long Beach. It's one of the newer schools, one of a school that was constructed from the ground up. And so if you take a look at this, and I talked a little bit, I think, about this before, but if you go, we got student groups, English learners, 20%, social economic disadvantage, 74%, foster youth, 0.5%. Now, from this page, I'm about to click on something else. So there's a button down here that says View Full SARC. And SARC means School Accountability Report. So again, all of this is accessible from the Long Beach Unified School District page
For every school.
for every school. So we're looking specifically at Nelson Academy right now. Right here, DataQuest. DataQuest is an online tool located on the CDE DataQuest webpage. So this even takes you back to the page that Kim was showing a few moments ago. California dashboard. The California dashboard, isn't that a more simplified view of things, Kim?
I think so.
Okay,
I think so.
we'll click on that in just a moment. So again, what we're just trying to show you is there's a way that you can access. Actually, I'm going to send that to you. Hold on, so that you can pull that up. So if you're watching this while we're streaming live, or if you are watching this later, you can definitely drop some questions. Check the chat, Kim.
Mm-hmm.
I dropped the link so you can get ready to pull that up to share. Okay. Uh-oh, I lost my page, y'all. Okay. So about this school, you see the principal, contact information for the 23-24 year. That means the current year we're in right now. And then it talks about the mission statement for the current year. Oh, check this out, Kim. I don't know if you can see this. So I don't know if my mouse is showing, because I can't actually see the view right now, but it says last updated 1/19/24.
Yep.
Yep. So I was actually trying to wait until after the last few weeks to see what would be updated. Okay. So that means the district, and every year in January, every year, I think the deadline is February 1st. Schools have to have their data updated with the state of California.
Correct.
And what I noticed last year, they had did it around the 20th or so. Okay, so
yeah, and there are whole departments that are responsible for this in every district. The state is pretty they're pretty hard on the compliance piece as far as this is concerned. And I do want to say that Long Beach really does a good job collecting data. I think the issue becomes parents not understanding what does this all mean, right? Like, I know you collect tons of data, but we don't understand what it all means. And so I would love to help anyone at any school in Long Beach that has a question about how to navigate the page to figure out, what's happening in their own child's school. ask teachers to help you, go see the principal to help walk through it. But please, this is your right as a parent or a guardian to access this information.
Mhm. So, one thing when we see the data is having an understanding of where the data comes from. So, what I've done, I've scrolled. If you're watching, while Kim was talking, I was scrolling down because I wanted to read something. One of the sources of information is the Smarter Balance Assessment, and this assessment is in for English language arts. It is given in the grades 3 through 8 and grade 11. For the Smart Balance Mathematics, the same thing, grade 3 through 8 and 11th. Um, and then there's a science test, 5, 8, and once in high school. Kim, do you know why it's only 3 through 8? I'm not. I read up on it, but I'm not fully literate in that.
I think that's grades 3 through 8. So some testing they don't do for grades 1 and 2.
Right, but is there a reason for why they skip 9 and 10 and then just do it in the 11th? Do you know
For
any?
SBAC, no, I'm not really sure. That's something to do with the California Board of Ed
Okay.
rules.
So if you look, for example, in 2023, the 2022-23 school year, this is it just Nelson for English language arts grades 3 through 8 and 11th. Only 64 students are proficient or met and exceeded the standard. In math, only 34%. It does some more breakdown by female, male, and other racial demographics. Something that is, I think, really important is for when parents say you're trying to choose a school, you may want to look at this data. I think people should look at the data. Um, okay, so anything you have to say about this data, Kim?
No, I mean the data is allowing the district to make certain decisions, fund certain projects and initiatives. So please, parents, ask questions.
So what I am
Especially
going
if
to do.
you're at a school that is quote unquote low performing. I mean, there's only 834 students at this school. So,
Mhm, mhm.
I know the principal, she's an amazing woman, she's very accessible. Let's reach out and talk to people.
So before I switch, though, before I pass it over to you to show screen, what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to switch gears. Oh, can I switch gears from here? No, I can't switch gears from here. Okay, I can't do that. I have to actually go. I can do it from here. Hold on. I'm about to switch gears just to see what the changes are, if there was an increase or decline. So I've switched gears. I am now in 2021, 2022, and I'm scrolling. I'm specifically looking for the English language arts, which see there's a lot of data here. It was 47% in 21, 22, and I believe the year after it was 28%. Was that correct?
I don't remember.
Here, actually, I have it right here. So it's also, and I think when thinking about specifically the schools in area two, is has there been a success or advancement, or is there a decline? There was actually an increase. It was 40. It was an actual decrease. English language arts declined by 1% from the previous school year, and then the same thing, mathematics declined by 1%. I'm not showing that tab, but I wanted to share that because when I'm thinking about what's going on in the school district, many of our schools right now are they're not seeing improvement, they're seeing a lack of improvement, and that really
Mhm.
concerns me. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to just kind of talk about this data and then also have people walk them through the process of accessing it. So go ahead and you share the other dashboard.
Yeah, before I share that other dashboard, I just wanted to show you all something. I think we're still in DataQuest, as you can see on the top of the page, right? And we're still at Nelson because you can pull down any school, right? And so we're talking about Nelson, so let's stay there.
Change your settings real quick so that we get the tab view, because the full screen view is hard. I can't see it.
Oh, I forgot to do that. How did I do that?
Presets. Present. I don't know why I keep saying preset.
Present.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I keep doing select tab. Okay, but it's not letting me. It's not letting me do anyway. Okay, that's all right. I will full screen it on my end. What I wanted to show you for folks that maybe the numbers are too much, right? And maybe you're a visual learner. Look at this graph down here. You can tell right away what's the biggest ethnicity in this group, right? It's the green. And you go up the bars right here, it tells you what each race is by color. So the green is Hispanic Latino. So you can know right away, and if you put your cursor on it, it tells you what the number is, 515 or 61%. And then the next highest is purple, right? Based on that diagram. Purple is Asian, right? And then pink is the next largest, and pink is African American. So again, you can put the data in any way, shape, or form. It can be numbers, it can be color coded, it can be circles, pies, whatever. If you look over here, this is all enrollment by grade, right? And it looks pretty much the same. They have the similar amount of 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. So 8th graders are in yellow, 8th graders are 288. 7th graders are in purple, and that's 283. 6th graders are in pink. Is that pink or is that red? I don't know. Maybe it's pink, and that's 263. So giving you a different way to view data, you can see there's about an even amount of students by grade. But if you look over here, you see there's a huge, to the left, there's a huge population that's way larger than everything else. So I just thought that was really great, the way they are showing this data in different ways to reach people that have, you catch on to things differently. I just wanted to share that. And then this other chart,
okay, you gotta get your screen larger, or
it is at its largest.
Yeah, but it's still hard on this end. We can't really see. So if you can change it, or I can pull it up.
I see it. It's completely good. You're funny.
Are you gonna pull it up, or do you want me to pull it up?
Is it the same? It looks
it's
good to me.
It's still pulling up full screen versus, okay. It just shows a little bit larger. See if you can then increase the, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, go back.
I'll finish up really quickly.
Okay. Yeah.
So so you can put in the district here, Long Beach, and then there's a little YouTube. You can click on this about how to use this, mm-hmm. But put in Long Beach to get started. It brings up all the schoolings, mm-hmm. in Long Beach, right? And you can see IVA and some other schools. Here's our district. You can click on our district, and then this one has also got a lot of color codes. Mm-hmm. So again, this is giving you the population and so forth. And then you can generate reports. You can see all the different schools. You can look for your school. You can look for an indicator.
So pull up, can you go to a specific school from here? Oh, I see listed.
Yeah. Can you what schools?
Pull up Stevens. Pull up Washington Middle School.
There's probably an easier way to do it, but I'm going to do it this way.
Oh, Muir's good. Muir's good. Muir's good.
Did I pass it?
One more down, or keep going. Or I mean, your MU. Okay. K8.
So we can click on that, and then it gives us a view. It can generate a report if you want. You can click on these links. It'll tell you chronic absentee has gone down. So they're doing a good they're doing work on that there. The
So where does it
suspension
show?
rate has also gone up.
It's gone up.
It's
Okay.
gone up by almost 2%, which might be like one or two students more.
Mhm.
You can also click, I believe you should be able to click on this, but it's not letting me. Maybe you
Go to
don't.
the
Oh,
view
wait,
more.
I'm sorry, view
Yeah.
details. There we go. There we go. Suspension rate. And this, oh, I love this about California Dashboard because it really breaks down the indicator you're looking at. So we're looking at suspension rate for this school, and these are the different groups in which people are suspended. So the folks in red, obviously red is high, right? We've got it in red, we've got them in orange, yellow, no student groups are in these three. So they fall into these categories here. There's no number, so there's no number of suspensions.
So basically, the state gives us multiple ways that we can view data. We can go through data quests. We can go through the school accountability report, or we can go through this dashboard. And all of these are accessible by clicking on the Long Beach Unified School District. By going to a school, you can go to a school website, which will take you to the district website, or you can go directly to the district website and accountability reports and get to any of the streams of data.
Yeah.
But they're the same. It's the same data. How do you put it? It's the same data, but it's populated. Well, it's not populated differently. It's just a different interface in which you can see it. So
Yeah, just a different lens, a different way of analyzing it. Some people are better with numbers, some people are better with colors, some people like circles. So, so they're just making it accessible to however people see numbers and they turn away. So this way, they have a lot of different ways in which you can understand the data.
Mm-hmm.
This is the mathematics for that school. So again, lots of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And all of it, I don't know if I'm going to click on this. If you'll see all of this, you can find starting on the LBUSD website. I'll stop sharing.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, I want to pull up some specific data. That's if I can.
Yeah, and Jerlene is probably going to drop some links in the chat so people can click on them to go to different. During the live stream or after the live stream, we can do that so folks can see what's needed. People are commenting on in Facebook that like keep pushing. Thanks for your work. Protect our future. Thank you for the positive feedback. Really, really, really want parents to be engaged. Reach out to any of us. I'm sure you know how to reach us. You guys are. You guys know how to reach us. Reach out to us and let us know how we can help you at your child's school. If you have questions, I think, we are part of Sankofa Parent Village, which is a Black parent group that meets monthly. And every single month I sit and listen to, very painful stories of experiences that Black parents are having. And I know other parents are having experiences too at schools all across the district. And you don't have to go through that alone. So let us help you. And navigating any system can be really overwhelming. So please don't do it alone. Know that, we're here to help you. No one's judging your parenting skills or anything. We really want to help you as best as we can. And we sit at a lot of tables with leadership, so they're able to hear from us, like what's happening on the ground in the community. Because if we're not hearing from you, we can't lift up any concerns to the leadership, right? So please reach out when you need us.
So one thing that was really concerning to me when I looked at this data was the overall data for African Americans and their lack of success in math. 18% are meeting or exceeding math. And I actually sat with a family this morning, and the student was expressing his challenges with math, and he said, I've had 4 years, and his words was, I've had 4 years of stupid math. And then he had to clarify, because he was speaking a young people language, and he says, I've had 4 years of really bad experience in math. And here it is his senior year, and he's still having a bad experience in math. And listening to him was very emotional, and thinking about, like, this young man is on the other side of that 18%, and how, like, what is actually being done when the population of Black students is so small to actually elevate and uplift. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share a school, go through a little more data before we close out. Let's see if I can pull up the right one. So I'm actually in the same dashboard that Kim was in a few moments ago. I'm looking at Bobby Smith. So Bobby Smith used to be Burnett Elementary. I talked about this school, I think earlier, a few weeks ago, talking about this is a first school that was actually named after a board member. Yeah, board member. Long Beach Unified School District board member, first African American board member, Bobby Smith. So and what happened when I was looking at the demographic, the data for this school, I was like, this is unbelievable. So I'm gonna click here. Okay. Suspension rates are very high. Long Beach Unified put in a resolution back in, I believe, 2013 to introduce a restorative justice program to reduce suspensions. I believe that was only applied. Oops, I think I'm not there yet. Uh-oh, am I? Yeah, it was only applied to certain grade levels. I don't know. But this right here is an issue: suspension rate. 3 to 4% suspended daily. Now I'm going to click on this more details. Now, if a child is not in the classroom, guess what? They're not learning. Okay. African American students at Kim, can you, while I'm here, can you click on another tab and look at what the demographics is at Bobby Smith?
Okay.
What the actual demographics are. So for and I can probably bet you this, that the African American students has a very low percentage of population at Bobby Smith Elementary, but they have the highest suspension rate. It's interesting though. They have, so orange, English language learners, Hispanic, homeless, socioeconomic disadvantage all have orange. And how this is, where is the key for this? Is there a key somewhere so we can define, like, what does each one mean? Because red is not good. But anyway, this is another way of looking at data. African American student groups, 9% suspended at least one a day. There was an increase to a 2% increase. There's only 78 students, or that I said that was 78 students suspended. I think, right? Would that be for the whole year? That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And these things are really important, especially for parents. Say that your child, and I'm going to go ahead and stop this. If your child is, say, getting suspended for, I would say, silly things or things that don't seem right, look at this data. Is this the norm for this school? Is this the norm for the school to suspend students? If so, then, definitely we need to make sure our children are held accountable, but we also need to look at the policies and processes that are taking part at the school. And one way to look at that is definitely look at this dashboard. Is this a regular occurrence? I know that the truancy rates at my kid's school, which is which is not in area 2, has increased. And so it has pushed that school to be different in its policy.
Yeah.
Got to see how that's going to work out. And a lot of that
and to answer your question, Bobby, the Bobby Smith Elementary, right?
Yes.
Has about 665 students, 65, 66. And of that, 60 of them are African American.
Wow.
60, and 501 are Latino.
But the African American students have the highest suspension rate. And some of these things, the reality, they're systemic. And but we definitely have to be, I mean, that's another conversation for another day. Yet, sadly, if we look at the data across the district, not just area 2, we're going to see similar trends.
Yeah.
We're going to see similar trends. And even and
And students with disabilities at that
yes,
school
that's what I was about to say.
is
And
very
students,
high.
yes, and
Mhm.
students with disabilities is a very high suspension rate. So these are things that when we what does the data say? And in my promoting of this, I said, well, what does the data say? The data says that there needs to be new leadership, and leadership that is actually looking at this data and asking the staff, the administrative staff, what's being done to address the deficiencies, as well as asking the school sites, what are they doing? Not all school sites are the same. And as much as I think it's great that there's uniform policies across the district, not all school sites are the same. They're
Right.
not. And
Right.
so there has to be some adaptations to the schools to make sure that the needs of the children and the families are being met. But again, what does the data say? The data says that we have some issues with suspension. And if I were to show you other schools, it's going to look similar. What did we look at before Bobby Smith? We looked at Nelson,
Mhm.
right?
John Muir, all the
John Muir.
schools.
Yeah, John Muir. Those are just 3 schools in area 2. Um, why are these kids being suspended? What and then this is where we talk about parent engagement. On the page, I think one of the first ones we shared on the
I just wanted to add though around the suspension thing, I know that a lot of schools have a zero tolerance policy for a lot of things. And so there's kindergartners getting, first grade, second graders getting suspended for, pushing someone or hitting someone or whatever the thing is that's intolerable. Is that a word? Intolerable? Um, and so I would really urge parents to get involved ASAP when stuff is going on at home, talk to teachers, let them know that things are, folks are going through a divorce, folks are getting evicted. There are all sorts of things, all sorts of social issues are happening and personal issues are happening. And it's affecting our students. And they're coming to school and they're having behaviors that aren't appropriate, right? And then they get suspended. So it's like this cyclical thing here that we have to figure out how to get off the hamster wheel. Like we can't just keep saying stop suspending kids without us having some other interventions, whether it be at home in different ways. So parents, I'm talking to you.
Yeah. And so what I did, again, we're talking data, right? We're talking data. So also part of the data on the accountability report, it shows the parent, it talks about the parent involvement. I personally have issues with the way the summaries that I've read. And I'm just going to read this one. I've read this before, but I'm going to read this. And so Nelson welcomes a supportive larger community. Nelson keeps family and communities informed through a regularly updated marquee, school messenger announcements, Title I newsletters, school news roll call, blah, blah, blah. Parent involvement is highly encouraged. Nelson welcomes all participants with the school site council, English language advisory committee, traditional back to school night, open house. Now, and I'm jumping down. What does it say? Parent workshop night and coming grade parent orientation. All those things are great. Those are great opportunities. I got some reservations on the school site council and what that really actually means for a school site. But all these things are great. But is that real? That's not parent involvement. That are opportunities to parent involvement. And the one thing that I noticed when I read through these different scars, how do you say it? Can I say scars? Reports, they give a narrative of what they offer, but they don't talk about what the outcome is. How many parents actually attend back to school night? How many parents show up for these events due to what the marquee say? How many parents are actually receiving those school messengers and being engaged by it? I tell people all the time, a flyer is not engagement. A flyer is not outreach. Our families need to have someone connecting directly with them. Yes, that's a lot of work. But like I said, I sat with a family this morning, and it was something that was a connection that was made back in December at a parent group. And the parent expressed some challenges that they were having. And we talked through them. And what happened, she called and she says, will you please attend this meeting with me? Now, what I did, because I have a lot going on, I actually reached out to Kim just as a backup, just in case I could not be present, because some parents are new to this involvement thing and we need to support them. So again, I think it's, the district takes in this data and they say, we got parent involvement, but it's visual. When we see some of the disciplinary issues that are happening with our kids, what's the first thing that people say? Where are the parents? So so again, something that's very important to me is parent engagement. I believe the district has created great opportunities, yet are they really engaging the parents, and are they meeting the parents where they are, and are they presenting things that connect with parents? What are your thoughts on
Yes, I want to double down on that, meeting parents where they are. At the Sankofa meeting, I was talking to a principal that was there, and I said, "Hey, are any of the parents from your school here?" And he said, "No, sadly," right? And I said, "Oh, okay. How have you reached out to them?" And he said, "Well, I sent the emails and I sent the text messages." I said, "Okay, but I'm going to tell you the secret. Black people are relational. So how about for the next Sankofa that you have a couple of teachers and yourself stand outside at drop off or pick up, and when you see a Black family dropping off their kids in the morning or picking up their kids in the afternoon, give them a flyer, say, hey, I would love for you to come to this Sankofa Parent Village for Black families, and once a month, have you heard of it? Here's a flyer. I would love for you to come. That will make all the difference, that A, the principal's inviting you, and B, or a teacher, right? And they're able to connect the face-to-face. I mean, we're not in COVID anymore, so we're going out and saying hello to people.
Right.
And so I want to encourage that of all the teachers and principals and administrators listening, like, try connecting with people, whether you're trying to reach the Latino families, if you're trying to reach Asian American families, if you're trying to reach Pacific Islander families, just stand outside at drop off and pick up. It'll take you 20 minutes out of your day. It'll be a great way to meet parents, say hello, and invite them to things. And I'm sure there'll be some increases. So.
And I think the best way to get parents engaged is parents engaging other parents. I
Yes.
think that's one of the best ways, no matter what the group is, and also understanding parents culturally. Like I said, Black folks, we're relationship driven. Some of our parent groups are more authoritarian focus, which I think also creates harm in our communities, because they don't feel a need to be engaged because they believe what that authority has said. So they're afraid to share they're afraid to express what's going on with them, because they feel like they are that they don't have the power to do that, or that it's going to bring them harm, when the harm really is the fact that they think that there's this authority, they can't question them. And one thing that I always tell parents, we are the authorities. We're the authorities. We are the customer. Customers matter. Our children, the school district gets the pleasure of having our children daily. But we are the customers, and our children are also customers. So again, back to
without no students, there's no district, right?
look, how many people, and I just
Without
have
no students, without your students,
right,
you would have
right.
thousands of people out of work.
And also, when we look at the data, that's the conversation that has to happen, is about the decline in enrollment. What is contributing to this decline in enrollment, and how is the district going to adapt to that? Because with decline in enrollment means declining in funding. So there means some changes are going to have to be made to accommodate that. So again, it's all about the data. I have dropped some links. Is there anything I'm missing? Anyone drop me questions?
No, I know this was a lot for you all, but just take what you can from it. Don't be overwhelmed. It's just numbers and letters and words. Don't be overwhelmed. Just hit up Jerlene after you vote for her and just say, okay, here's what I need.
Yeah, don't forget that part. I'm a candidate running for LBUSD, parent advocate. Yet the data matters. And so when people are asking me, why am I running? One of the reasons I'm running is because the data tells me I need to. The data, and I'm very familiar with the data. Unfortunately, the current representative is not familiar with the data, and has even admitted it in a meeting in which data was the conversation. So we have to be able to have this conversation from the point of data, and also from the point of funding. We have to be able to have this conversation, but the funding is driven by the data and our decisions. But at the same time, we have to know the stories and the connections that happen. And even though this data that is on EdSource looks poor, it does not tell the stories of our students. It does not say that the student who has the capacity to be an A student is having hardships in their home. Maybe they lost a loved one. Maybe the parent is without a job. Maybe they're going in transition. This data doesn't say that. So that's one thing that we always have to remember. And that is so important. I am having this conversation about the data, but I also want to remember that there are real people and families behind that data. And although the numbers are accurate because that is what collected, it does not tell the full story. Anything else, Kim? Dr. Tabari?
No, don't forget to vote. You have until March 5th to cast your vote, either in person or mail-in ballot. And if you're living in District 2, please vote for Jerlene Tatum for a school board candidate. She is as authentic as they come. And, you know, it's about time we have like a grassroots, homegrown leader representing our students, and not one that's, you know, based in politics and, you know, trying to be president or any of that.
Right now, I just want to go do my laundry. I gotta be real. I'm like, right now, can I just find time to do my laundry?
You know, but seriously, I mean, there's definitely a movement afoot for more grassroots leaders to be running for office. And when you get into office as a grassroots leader, we want you to remain true to who you are, not assimilate to the status quo, right? What is the
Okay,
point of that?
we're gonna have to go live and have just that conversation.
But we'll talk about that at another time. For right now, check
Thank
out
you.
the data, vote for Jerlene. Good night.
And so there'll be more conversations about the data. If there's something specific that you would like for me to talk about, I only got 35 days left now. Let me know. I'll do my best. But thank you. Hashtag Team Tatum. Hashtag Jerlene for LBUSD. Hashtag proud to be LBUSD. Hashtag Long Beach. And don't forget March 5th. Please like, share, or react, share, comment. Folks are asking how can they support me. That's one of the easiest things you could do is help get the message out. And that's by reacting, commenting, sharing. And I'm ending the live stream.